This is not a dad bod. This is. So why do we associate dad bods with this? We know it's because of the burgers, the fries, and the pizza, but it's also this. This hormone, testosterone, has declined by over 40% since the late 80s and is not showing any signs of slowing down. So next time you look at your dad or you go through your grandparents' photos and think, how the heck does a 16-year-old look that jacked? While our dads and their dads were swimming in glorious high tea, wrestling bears and hunting prey for dinner, our bodies are struggling to make just the bare minimum for us to operate. And if that sounds bad, the real damage isn't going on in here, but in here. Everything you need that propels you to succeed is being undermined by this one crucial hormone in your brain. But as we all know, in the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. Einstein.
Do you guys think masculinity and men respecting themselves is dying?
Oh, of course. There's no doubt about that.
The Atlantic magazine recently asked that of its readers and evoked a record number of responses.
Men are not meant to be dominant. Men are meant to be submissive.
Your grip strength is a strong predicator of mortality and later life.
And in life in general. And it's high time we paid serious attention to the problems of boys and men.
The Greek civilization started declining when men stopped being men. See, the testosterone levels in men are way below what they ever were before in history.
Do you think men are important? Like for what?
This is a story we've all heard before. Men aren't the men they used to be long ago, back in the good old days. Some women complain that men now aren't of the same caliber as their forefathers. And they're right, sort of. Take my grandpa, for example. He was just 16 years old when he went from India to Pakistan. He got on a train, this 16-year-old guy, all by himself. No phones, no Google Maps, obviously. And he took it to a strange country with almost no money in his pocket. Started by selling seashells by the seashore, worked his way up, got some contracts. One day, became a building contractor, created his own business from scratch, made enough money to put up an ad where his family used to live in India, and brought them all back to the new land in Pakistan, bought them all houses. He did all that by himself, and he started it when he was just 16 years old. But the real problem is, you don't have inside of you what men living 500, 100, hell, even 30 years ago had. Every guy born now is living at an insane disadvantage compared to their fathers, and their fathers' fathers. But what about all the ridiculously big, strong, freak athletes that are bigger, stronger, faster than they've ever been before? They understand the science behind optimizing testosterone production. They understand how to live and exercise that allows them to consistently produce impressive hormonal levels continuously. The techniques they use, and they don't want you to know about, turn their bodies from this into this. And if you don't believe that everyone else is on a steep decline, well, explain this. The reasoning is actually pretty simple. Grip strength. Back in 1985, the average man could squeeze with 117 pounds of force. Fast forward to 2016, and that number is just 98 pounds. And to go back to our favorite not so much dad bod for a second, why do so many young people, so many vibrant young people have such terrible physiques? And although partially it's our suboptimal diet, the pizza and everything, but we've been eating fast food since the 30s and the 70s. So why is it affecting our generation more than any other generation in the past? Our high T ancestors ate this stuff decades ago. Let's think about the way testosterone works.
Testosterone has the effects we're all aware of, like deepening the voice, facial hair, muscle growth, recovery, etc. Mostly because testosterone increases protein synthesis. You look at a young male in puberty, it's a protein synthesis machine. Yeah. They eat, and they just grow and grow and grow, and they're putting on muscles and they're lean. And,
Testosterone helps preserve lean muscle mass and boost your metabolic rate, which helps you burn fat. So eating the modern day diet where the average North American eats burgers 3 times a week, which is a lot, having strong testosterone levels is pretty crucial to being able to burn it. But now, we don't have those levels. And it leaves people trapped in the fat testosterone spiral. Take the modern day man Joe. With his reduced testosterone, his metabolism slows down, and he's finding it harder to lose or even just maintain his weight. And now, with his excess fat comes an enzyme called aromatase, which works to turn
testosterone
into estrogen. So every single pound of fat on your body is working to sabotage your natural testosterone production. And now you're stuck in this continuous fat testosterone spiral, which is probably why studies have routinely found that obese people suffer one way or another from low testosterone, and why in 1980 about only 13% of adults were obese. However, by 2023, that number has risen to over 40% of the population in North America. 40%. Think about that. Fortunately, there's a path out of this. I don't have to tell you that eating McDonald's every day and eating constant processed food is bad for your health and your T levels. But there are three specific foods. Three foods that you can find at pretty much any supermarket across the continent that will immediately boost your testosterone. Eggs, yes, eggs. Like other high protein diets, when combined with proper exercise, have been consistently shown to increase testosterone levels. But eggs have this one T boosting product that other protein foods do not. That's called selenium. And men with optimal amounts of selenium, which you probably haven't heard of, maybe ever within their blood, have been shown to have higher levels of testosterone. So get that selenium. Number two, ginger. Ginger increases the amount of something called luteinizing hormone, which encourages your, you know what, to create more testosterone. It also increases the amount of nitric oxide, not to be confused with nitrous oxide in your body, which in turn tells your body to make more of the gonadotrophic hormone, which then leads to
testosterone.
In fact, ginger is so good. In a study of 75 men, taking ginger daily for just 3 months increased their testosterone by nearly 18% from ginger. That may not seem like much, but think back to the first study. That's 18 years of damage reversed just like that. Ginger also helps you burn a ton of fat, which then helps you with the testosterone. And finally, we have cacao powder. Cacao contains antioxidants called flavonoids, which, when they enter your body, increase testosterone production from Leydig cells, aka the ones located in the testicles, which is huge because your testicles are responsible for 95% of your body's testosterone production. To invert a great phrase from a wise man, a healthy body can only be achieved with a healthy mind. And right now, the single biggest impact testosterone is having on you right at this instant is in your brain.
Testosterone has some very interesting effects on the brain. The major mental effect of testosterone is it makes effort feel good.
Makes effort feel good. Think about that. People who are truly successful, working hard isn't a chore, it's an addiction. They have an obsessive energy rippling through their mind and body, and they feel good about that effort. Is that how you feel? Whereas, think about how sluggish and slow you feel in the mornings, even if you didn't have an intense day the day before. How lazy you get doing the most basic tasks, which is why the big companies like Uber Eats, Amazon Prime are flourishing by making it easier than ever for you to do less. This was not how our parents lived or how our grandparents lived. And while society may tell you to work harder or do more, what they don't realize is that every positive step you make is being counteracted by your own body. You can do everything right, work hard, put in the effort, but you mentally will never be able to go over those life hurdles if you're being weighed down by the very thing that's meant to be driving you towards success. And remember how we talked about grip strength? Let's try something. Make a fist. What are you doing when you squeeze? How do you feel? Strong, tough, resilient. That's the physical manifestation of your grip strength. But it's also all the things you need to get ahead in life, to win and to succeed. The same things that are declining as the generational T gap grows. And when you feel like this and you're mentally off, you're also off your game. You're not going to be able to get this. And instead, our reduced testosterone bodies in this generation is left with brain fog, apathy, and
Depression.
Well, what can we do about it?
These are signs and symptoms that should prompt them to talk about the possibility of low testosterone with their physician.
I guess this can work, just as this guy.
But here's where the testosterone came into play. I had these energy levels and the muscle development that was happening that it started to really change and transform my life.
But what are you doing then? Putting your body at risk with man-made molecules, doing something very expensive, and most importantly, treating the symptoms rather than the root cause of the issue? And how do we treat the causes? It comes down to two things. The first is your lifestyle, how you live your life, how you do the basics, your day-to-day activities. Lifestyle, we're all told that we need a healthy life and treat our bodies as temples.
So I treat my body like a temple. Does that make me uncool? I don't think so.
But it all starts, well, with sleep. So to anyone watching this at 3 a.m., just go to sleep after you finish this video. And the second is adding and incorporating tiny small things in your life, which will start to boost your testosterone the very next day. Stuff you aren't taught in school or first year of university, and it will help you exponentially more than anything you learned here. And of course, exercise, even just moving around. But you know all that. What you don't know are the seemingly small things, the 3 things you can incorporate in your day, which take less than a combined 15 minutes to actually do. 3 things that will completely change the way that you feel and experience your life. Things that will help you rise above the generational T gap and outcompete everyone else out there who's being held back by their generational low T levels that they feel like they have no control over. And by now, you may have heard about zinc, ashwagandha, vitamin D, and those are all great supplements that you should definitely consider taking. But the 2 things that you can take that will really help your T levels naturally, Tonga Dali and Fidocia.
It turns out that 400 milligrams per day of something called Tonga Ali, which is a form of ginseng, can actually help increase levels of free testosterone. And another one, which is very interesting, it's a Nigerian shrub called Fidocia agrestis, and it mimics luteinizing hormone, which is the hormone that comes out of the hypothalamus that stimulates the testes if you got those and the ovaries if you've got those to make more testosterone or estrogen.
Sounds like these 2 unique, rare substances will help propel your testosterone levels to heights that you may not have experienced, and maybe only your forefathers have. And then there's also the exercises. We all know how important it is to lift weights to boost testosterone, but working legs, and especially doing deep squats to work the inner areas of your upper thighs and lower glutes, signal to your brain to produce more testosterone. And it makes sense. If you focus on the area nearest to the groin, it's gonna send more blood flow and you're gonna create more testosterone. Finally, you might have seen Instagram influencers doing it and thought it might seem stupid, but you gotta trust the experts on this. Embrace the cold. And no, you don't have to move here in Vancouver where it's cold, but you have to get your mind and body used to feeling it. And it isn't just your head. Put those guys in a nice bath for 90 seconds a day. 1.5 minutes, 90 seconds, and your testosterone levels will skyrocket. Trust me, and it'll help you feel like you were 16 again. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. This allows us to put more effort and do more research in bringing content that helps you grow your mind, body, and assets. Thank you so much. See you on the next one. Peace out.